Today we've got a 3v3 positional play drill. It's positional in the sense that we've got 3 midfielders in red versus 3 midfielders in white within the square. We've also got 2 feeders at either side, acting as a centre-back and a striker. So we're playing through the thirds. We've got a centre-back playing into midfield 3. We've got a midfield 3 playing into the striker. And we've got that horizontally for the reds, and we've got that vertically for the whites. The objective of the game is to play from one feeder to the other. And if you do that, you score a point. So if you play from one supporting player into the midfield 3 and then play out to the other supporting player, that's a goal scored. And then if you do that again, it's another goal. While this is happening, we've obviously got opposition as well. So the whites here are trying to win the ball back. If they do win the ball back from the reds, they get to play to their supporting players and get to try and score a goal themselves. So there's a constant battle of to and fro. It's high transitionally as well. So we're going from attack to defence very quickly, and we need to be really intense in those transitions. So it's quite taxing on the players. So you might want to rotate the 2 supporting players into the middle every so often once you get a break. But the objective, as I say, is to work from one supporting player to the next supporting player, and that's how you score goals. So in terms of setup, we are going to work in a 20 by 20 area. I'm not too precious about what area we work in this drill. I've put 20 by 20 just as an easy measure for you, but it depends on the ability of your players. I would always suggest that if you're unsure, start larger and bring it in. So if you're unsure how your players are going to react to a 20 by 20 grid, you might want to make that a 25 by 25 or a 30 by 30, which is quite a lot of space, but allow them to get comfortable with the drill and then bring the sizing in once they've got the hang of the tempo and the objectives of the drill, and then make it more challenging as an evolution, make it smaller and bring the size in. And obviously, if you're doing this with bigger numbers as well, because you're not wed to do this with a 3x3. If you just wanted to do this with a 4x4 or 2v2, you could do that as well, or make it bigger even. So always make the space suitable for the player ability. So it's challenging enough, but also at the start of the drill especially, they can get to hold of it and they can enjoy it, 1, and 2, they can start to land the objectives that you're trying to land as well. And then as the players get it, reduce the size, make it more challenging as the knowledge has sunk in. So evolutions for this drill, there's a few things you could do, and I'd probably suggest that there's a step before this drill as well, because this is obviously with opposition and it's game intensity, it's match pace. You might want to start this where they're just playing with interference, so there's no tackling, they're not trying to win the ball from each other. And there's 2 balls in this drill, so the whites play from whites to white and the reds are playing from reds to red. And all that gives us is a little bit of interference in the middle because players are going to be in the way, but they're not trying to be tackled as they would be in a game. So we're playing with interference, we're landing the objectives, we're getting comfortable, and we're playing and landing the objectives that we want to. You then would want to evolve it into maybe all 3 midfielders have to touch the ball before it goes through to the next feeder player. So the centre-back would play into the midfield 3. All 3 midfielders have got to pass to each other and touch the ball before they then play to the striker. And once you've landed that, then evolve it into match intensity and 1 ball. So they're fighting for 1 ball basically, and they're scoring points against each other. So yeah, I'd highly recommend that you start it with just interference and then go into full match play post that. The last thing I want to talk about is just coaching points. So what are we trying to coach during this drill? What are the objectives, basically? What are we trying to land with the players and teach the players during this drill? Now, with all positional play drills, we're trying to reward movement and our awareness of space. So this is a tight area. So if it's a 20 by 20 or a 15 by 15, or if you have started larger and brought the area in, how our players react to the space around them is really, really important. What you would normally see is players are attracted to the ball and they'll tend to group together. What we're trying to coach them is to walk away from their teammates and give their teammates on the ball more space. So if we do press the ball together, we're pressing for the opposition, we're crowding the space, we're making it easier for the opposition to win the ball back. We want to use as much of the space as possible, walk away from our teammates, which doesn't feel comfortable, and really make the pitch big and make the pitch wide as well, so that we can have as much space available to us as possible for our teammates to play in. With that, we're looking to obviously make sure that our players are scanning as much as possible as well, that we're checking over our shoulders, that we're looking for the space. And sometimes when we scan, we just look up. You tell your players to scan, they'll just look with no intent to see anything and no intent to take anything in. So it's really important that when they do scan, that they scan with the intent to see, because that's different with just scanning. So you're scanning with the intent to see, you're digesting what knowledge there is there, and if you see space, you move into it, or you communicate space to your teammates. So if you see it, say it, and tell your teammates what you're saying as well, and be able to communicate that effectively to your teammates around you. We're also looking to coach how we receive the ball, so it's a tight area. So communication for the player that's receiving it is really important. Are we telling them that we've got time, or are we telling them that they've got a man on? And if they've got a man on, which shoulder is that player coming to? So it might be player on your right shoulder. That information tells you that I can turn to my left and take the ball with one touch to my left-hand side. And I'm going to be in a little bit of space. If I'm being told time, I want to receive it on my back foot so I can open up and go out the other way. We don't want to be taking a touch, 2 touch, 3 touches if I'm told time, because that allows the press to come in. So to receive on your back foot when you've got time is really important as well. And the last thing that we're trying to land here is our body shape when we're receiving the ball as well. So that's all part of our scanning and being aware of what's around us, who's around us, and being able to change our body shape to match our intent with the ball next. So what's the next action? Is it that I want to go out right because I know there's a man on my left? If that's the case, what does my body shape need to look like to be able to do that? And am I manipulating the players around me? And if I do have a man on my left or a player on my left, can I get contact? Can I manipulate their body and their shape and their direction to allow me to go out right easier? But they're the coaching points that I'd like to land during this drill. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. As always, give us a follow. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these types of videos. It's a longer than usual type of video, but we're trying to land as much information as possible. So let us know what you think and enjoy. Thank you.